Hello, everyone, and welcome to Movin' Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch The Great Muppet Caper 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I am your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And today we have a special return guest back with us from last season. Guest, please tell our listeners who you are.
Hi, I am Christy Admiral, and I have no public internet presence on a regular basis right now, so I have no title.
That's absolutely fine, but we're glad you're with us.
I'm glad to be here.
And today we're talking about minutes 87 and 88 of The Great Muppet Caper, in which the Muppets make it to the roof of the Mallory Gallery as Nikki Holiday and the thieves continue breaking in. And these minutes start in a very chaotic way as we're right in the middle of the Muppets running away from these barking guard dogs who were chasing them. And they got to get to the roof, so they shimmy up a drain pipe to get up there. I want to talk about the drain pipe, but first I also want to mention that in the July 22nd, 1980 draft of the screenplay, it specifically says that Kermit shouts, "Whoa, Nelly," as the dogs are chasing them. But I don't actually hear Kermit say that in the movie.
Which is a shame.
They cut that out in post.
Yeah, it's too bad. And it also reminds me of, this might be really obscure, but in Labyrinth, when the characters are being chased by goblins through the Goblin City, Jennifer Connelly actually says, "Whoa, Nelly."
I wonder if there's a through line there.
I love the idea that Jim Henson wanted to put it in all of his movies. And, so I'm imagining, like, the Chamberlain Skeksis being like, "Whoa, Nelly."
Right. It just stuck in his head, and he's like, "Whoa, Nelly, I got to use that somewhere, sometime."
Yeah, and he got it into his third and final feature, so that's
cool. Oh, yeah. Eventually he did. There you go. So, yes, the gag with the drain pipe. This lasts for only about 20 seconds on screen, where you see the Muppets just kind of scooting their way up the drain pipe. But as we've learned in the documentary Muppet Guys Talking, Frank Oz said shooting it was the most scared he ever felt working on a Muppet project.
Oh, it looks like it would have been a nightmare to do.
Yes, it was. So Frank Oz said, "Jim wanted all these characters to climb up this drain pipe. You've got people who are 5'6" to 6'2" with these characters, so how do you do it? So he designed an elevator, and each of us were lying down, all lying down with our hands out. There were about 10 of us, all stacked like pancakes." So just picture 10 Muppet performers essentially lying down on top of each other on this elevator with their arms sticking out. Dave Gold says there were 18 inches between levels, and Frank said that it was so scary because he was just thinking, if any part of that broke, like every puppeteer, it would just collapse and everyone would be crushed by it.
It's kind of staggering because it's only in the movie then for, as you said, 20 seconds, and they did all this work for this one single shot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's worth it, though, because it's so much fun watching those Muppets screwing up the drain pipe. Like, it's such a great effect. It's such a memorable effect that I think it was totally worth the time that they put into it.
I think so. I don't know if Frank and Dave and the guys would necessarily say that it was, but yeah, it's very funny. I've seen this with audiences of various sizes many times, and this is something that always gets a big laugh. So it works for sure.
No, it's a good visual gag without actually being a gag of any kind. It's just puppets moving upward, and it's funny anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, and even, like, if you're looking at it, you might wonder, how did they do that? I don't think you would assume, they must have built an elevator.
Oh, no, definitely not.
No, I kind of assumed it was marionettes of some kind.
Right.
Like 4 years until that movie came out, the Muppet Guys Talking.
Yeah. Although I think, so Camilla is flying up rather than scooting. I think she probably is a marionette.
No, Camilla knows how to fly.
They made a Camilla puppet that could fly?
Yeah, and also she's a chicken. She shouldn't even be able to fly.
Yeah, I do question how high chickens can actually fly.
Zero. The answer is they can not fly.
Yeah, we should have fact checked that. But the other thing is we get some looks, like full body looks at all the characters, including, I think we mentioned during the bicycle sequence that most of the characters were seen there in full body form, except I think it was Ralph and Beauregard.
Yeah, they're both not there in that one.
Yeah, but they are actually in this shot, so you get to see them, and they do look weird, as we suggested they would.
Yeah, well, Ralph especially is just such a carpet. Like,
Right.
He doesn't make sense as a body with legs. Like that doesn't. I can't process it.
No, he just has this kind of baggy body. Yeah, he's actually sort of, the bottom of him is obscured by Beaker, probably on purpose. So then they make it to the roof and they're all exhausted. Fozzie says, "So far, I'm not having any fun."
And I love how out of breath they like. It would have been so easy for them to just get up on the roof and been like, "Okay, next part of the adventure." But they're all just like panting and exhausted.
Oh yeah,
which makes Fozzie's line so much funnier.
Yeah, that'll take a lot out of you.
Papers are difficult. They're not. This isn't like the standard. We're going to make a television show. This is serious business.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're not doing a musical number. They're running for their lives. But then the dogs are still barking, so Ralph leans over and just says "woof woof woof," and the dogs just kind of cool it and sit down and relax.
Yeah, bless you for letting me talk about Ralph again, because man, what a nice moment. He gets a good laugh line after it. I believe the exact words are, "It helps to speak a second language," which also true generally.
Yeah, right. It's an accurate line that is also an excellent joke.
Yeah, but it makes me wonder: could he have just done that at any time with the dogs? Could he have just said "woof woof woof" and they would have let them pass by
when they were on the ground?
Yeah,
he probably could have. But he's not that bright. That's one of my favorite things about him.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do you think of him as not being one of the smarter Muppets?
I don't think he is. Maybe I think he's too busy being chill most of the time to really think about anything.
Yeah, I guess so. He kind of does his own thing, but I guess I definitely in more recent productions he's maybe been dumbed down a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I always think of him in the Jason Segel Muppets movie, talking about like how his addition, like him being added to their road trip was so classic, and it's just him in a hammock saying, "Yeah, sure, I'll go with you."
Yeah,
like that's my Ralph moment that I love the most.
Well, it's such a he's laid back, is the thing. And that is like the most possible laid back moment in any Muppet movie. It's perfect. What a great Ralph thing.
Yeah, it does feel in character still. I'm also thinking of in Muppets Most Wanted when they realize that Ricky Gervais has been working against them the whole time, and he's the one who says, "The bad guy was Dominic Bad Guy." But then maybe that means he's smarter because he was the first person to put that together.
Oh man! But also, if we're talking about Ralph, gotta mention that he does this joke in Muppet Family Christmas 6 years later. Where he's to Sprocket in dog language.
Right. In the Muppet Family Christmas, Ralph has a conversation with Sprocket, just barking, and then it's Doc who turns to look at the camera and says something like, "Don't you hate it when you don't speak the language?" Is that it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's one of those things where Jerry Jewell must have hesitated because they did that joke in a movie. Like, they did that exact joke in a very high profile spot, like in one of their movies. But Sprocket is there, so they had to do it again. Like, it would be such a missed opportunity to not do it when you have Ralph and a famous Muppet dog who only barks on camera together.
I think it plays just differently enough, and also probably at the time very few people noticed or remembered it.
Oh yeah, right. Also, those audiences hadn't seen this movie or that special like dozens of times, like you and I have now.
Right, that's the thing. Do you think dogs bark in different accents? Like when these British dogs bark at Ralph, does he hear them barking with an accent?
I hope so. One of my favorite fictional dogs is Bear on the show Person of Interest, who actually does speak Belgian specifically. Like
Really?
all of the commands they give him, that like he learns English, but he understands Belgian, and he probably sounds a little different whether he's speaking one or the other.
Is
Yeah.
that right? That makes me really want to watch Person of Interest. Like that's
I can tell you the
the
exact episode where Bear comes in if you want. Like you really don't need to watch it until he shows up.
that's when it gets good.
I
right
I think I believe it is always good, but it does pick up in the second season, and not coincidentally, that is when Bear shows up.
Well, there you go. Well, and when does Amy Acker show up? We can talk about this another time.
Oh, also, the very end of the first season, and then her first like major arc is the second season. It's a great show. If you learn nothing else today, please learn that I love Person of Interest.
That's the one with Michael Emerson, right?
Indeed,
Yeah,
it is.
well, I like Michael Emerson. I like Amy Acker. So
And everybody on it is good.
I like
Everything
dogs
about
who
it
speak
is
Belgian.
good.
All right. So, anything else on the drain pipe sequence before we move on?
I mean, not a ton going on there, really, aside from apparently an extraordinarily difficult shot to set up.
Yeah, Anthony,
Yeah, I
anything?
don't have anything else.
All right. Next, we go to Miss Piggy on the side of the road where her truck has just completely run out of gas, so she's stuck. She is about to despair, but fortunately, a van drives by from something called the Super Wheels Stunt Team. And the van hits a bump, and out of the back of the van rolls a sweet red motorcycle with a helmet and this whole outfit with gloves and everything. And Piggy looks right at us and says, "What an unbelievable coincidence."
It's an excellent moment.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Yeah, it's great. We talked last week about how Piggy is kind of using the audience as her sidekick through this entire, like, her trip to get to the gallery. And this is the best moment, is when she just looks right at us and says, like, can you believe how ridiculous this movie is?
Right.
It's great.
Yeah. And like we said, it kind of lets the movie get away with stuff like this.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Well, and also, like, I realized watching this today, I would absolutely buy a t-shirt with the Super Wheels Stunt Team logo on it.
I don't know if they would ever make official merchandise like that, but
no, I'm sure not.
That's the kind of thing maybe you could do on Redbubble or one of those kind of websites.
Right. And no one would get it. That's the other thing.
No, it's true. You do get a really good look at that logo, though, so an artist could recreate that pretty well.
Yeah. So any artists listening, let me know if you want a commission. I'll be in touch.
Yes. We don't really hear much about or think much about motorcycle stunt riders these days, I don't think, but I guess at the time when this movie came out, Evel Knievel was still kind of just a few years had passed since his peak of doing stunts, like riding a motorcycle over the Grand Canyon or whatever, all his motorcycle stunts.
Also, you're forgetting about a little movie called Toy Story 4.
Oh, that's a good point of reference for today.
I still haven't seen Toy Story 4. I don't know if it's to do with like my waning interest in Pixar or no, it has to do with my waning interest in Pixar films.
That's fair.
Sure. And then you maybe know this, but Keanu Reeves plays a Canadian stuntman toy named Duke Kaboom.
Yeah, I was familiar with that concept, and that actually did pique my interest enough where I was like, maybe I should see this movie. And, I'll watch it eventually. I have Disney Plus now. There's no excuse for me not to watch literally everything.
Right.
Right. I would describe Toy Story 4 as fun but inessential. So it's not like...
Yeah. But, like this movie, it does have a stunt motorcycle. So.
Well, that's something, man.
Yeah. I also want to mention Piggy saying, "What an unbelievable coincidence." She has the same line in the Muppet movie when Kermit and the gang happen to pass by right when she's hitchhiking on the side of the road. So it's a fun little callback. I kind of wish they had worked it into Muppets Take Manhattan, but it's fun to catch it for the second time here.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing I wrote down was I just like the little sort of magical sounding music cue in the score that plays as the motorcycle rolls out.
I really like that.
Yeah. I feel like it reminds me of something else from another movie, but I can't quite place it. So back at the gallery, Nicky Holiday and his gang of thieves are still using their various high-tech devices to get past the security systems and break in. When we went over, when we did the scene where they went over their checklist, we questioned why they needed a stopwatch. But there is a shot here where you can see Darla actually using a stopwatch while she's pushing buttons. I don't know exactly what she's doing with it. Any guesses?
No idea.
Well, I wonder if it isn't something like the alarm system is going to go off in this amount of time.
Yeah, that was my best guess too.
Yeah, like we have this many seconds or whatever to get through this room, or
Right. Yeah. So the stopwatch was very useful.
Yeah, I can't imagine what else it would be though.
Yeah. Then we go to the roof of the gallery where the Muppets are approaching a skylight. Bunsen volunteers Beaker to they think it might be rigged with an alarm, so Bunsen volunteers Beaker to check, and for some reason checking for an alarm involves touching a screwdriver to the skylight. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning is, but it results in this gag where Beaker's eyes light up and his hair stands on end. And we've definitely seen this happen since then. We've seen it a few times after this movie, but I think this might be the first time they actually did that with Beaker's eyes lighting up.
Well, no, it's not. It's in the Buddy Rich episode of The Muppet Show.
Oh, what happens?
When the power goes out in the Muppet Theater, and Bunsen hooks Beaker up to puts Beaker on a generator, like on a wheel to power a generator to bring power back to the Muppet Theater. And at one point, he gets electrocuted because he's running too fast, and then his eyes light up just like this.
Okay.
Well, but I think they did it. That's third to last episode of the show. So
right.
It would have been shot around the same time, and then it happens again in the Fantastic Miss Piggy show the next year. So, whatever mechanism they bought to give Beaker light bulb eyes, it paid off because they used it 3 times within a year.
Right. And they may have written it into the Buddy Rich episode knowing that they could use it in the movie or vice versa.
Right. I'm sure that's right.
Yeah. And then I don't know if it's are they using the same puppet every time since then, or this just the same eyeballs?
I would certainly guess so, for those 3 that all happened back to back. Because after that, I don't think it happens again until the 9th.
Right. Yeah, and I guess I just thought of this. It's similar to that original Sweetums mechanism in The Frog Prince, where his eyes would light up, which they said somehow it broke after The Frog Prince, and they never bothered fixing it, which is why Sweetums' eyes haven't lit up since the 1960s. But I guess it's pretty much the same thing for Beaker, just smaller.
Yeah.
I dig this moment because it is a nice reminder, as we should always be reminded, that Beaker is one of the most outlandishly cartoonish Muppets.
Yeah. I think the fact that he doesn't speak coherent English actually helps.
Oh, definitely. The reaction to getting electrocuted is very good.
Right. And we might feel more sorry for him if he was actually screaming oh no, that hurts.
Yeah, I don't think it would play as... Although, I will say, this is the first time we've seen Bunsen and Beaker do anything in this movie. They've probably been in crowd scenes, but this is their first, featured moment.
Mm.
Is it really?
And,
wow.
Yeah. I'm sure they're at the hotel, whatever. But, the Muppet movie takes such great pains to introduce us to them, have Bunsen, monologue about who they are and what they do. And this one... It's just the audience loves Bunsen and Beaker. We'll just throw them at them. It's fine. They know the score. It'll play, and it does. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I found it interesting that Bunsen does say, "My assistant Beaker will check," or what he specifically names Beaker just in case, but he doesn't. I don't think they actually name Bunsen.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So I don't know why they did it that way. Well, apparently Beaker's sacrifice deactivates the alarm or whatever it is.
Because that's how that would work.
Yes, because then Animal is able to just...
Well, but what I love is that Bunsen says, now it's perfectly safe. And Beaker does this Jim Halpert take to the camera. Like, he's just so distant with Bunsen, like being like, now it's fine.
Yeah. Well, that's their relationship right there. And then Animal is able to just use his brute strength to pull this whole panel off of the skylight, and he's straining though. And as Animal makes these straining noises, for a second he kind of sounds like Grover.
It's true.
And then the panel just starts to fall on top of the Muppets, and that's where we end these minutes.
And well, I was so worried that the clip was going to cut off like while the panel was in mid-fall. So I'm glad that it like ends on them. I was very satisfied
that we actually saw the moment of impact. Yeah. So, yeah, like I say, those are the end of these minutes. Any final thoughts on this clip? Christy, I will start with you.
This is a pretty... it feels shorter than 2 minutes because I think so much happens so quickly. So it's a pretty breakneck pace for this.
Yeah.
But I'm glad these are the ones I got because I get some of the more fun visuals in the back half of the movie. So you get Beaker's eyes lighting up, and you get the excellent Muppet scaling of a drain pipe. Both of these pretty excellent.
Yeah. It's some great.
Sure.
It's also very important to the whole climax of the movie. So
true.
Anthony, any final thoughts from you?
We kind of glossed over Nikki and the model's actual robbery scene here, but I like the kind of like bleep and bloop computer noises that are playing the whole time they're doing that.
Oh yeah, very like late 70s.
Yeah, it's like the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the scene in the TV room. Like it's that kind of sound. It's great.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh, the other thing was after Rolf talks to the dogs and turns around, I love that Gonzo takes a picture of him.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, like that's kind of like the button on that gag is that like we did the talking dog joke, and then Gonzo just like commemorates the moment with the photograph, and then a bunch of the Muppets kind of like criticize him for it because he's drawing attention to them.
Right. Again, they're trying to sneak in and go unnoticed, and he's taking a flash photo.
Right.
All right. So, Christy, we like to ask our guests, what is your history with this movie? Do you remember the first time you saw it? And how do you rank it among the Muppet movies?
So, this one was not one of the ones I watched over and over again as a kid. I probably saw it when I was younger, maybe 7 or 8 or something like that. It's not one that I revisit very often, even though like it is the one among this original, kind of the original trilogy, that if it's on TV, I will drop everything and watch the rest of it. I'm not sure why this is the one that does that for me, but there's something about sticking it through the end with this one that I always do. It doesn't... I would rank it as one of the most watchable ones. I don't think it's particularly high in my order, but okay. I do like it quite a bit. Sure.
Yeah, that's interesting about watching to the end when you come across it. I guess it has maybe higher stakes or somehow more urgent stakes than the Muppet movie or the Muppets Take Manhattan. Yeah.
Just the very nature of being a caper movie, I want to stick it out despite knowing what is going to happen.
Right. You got to see if they're going to foil that jewel heist.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure if I thought of that aspect of it before. All right. So with that, then we will wrap things up.
Oh, Ryan, real quick.
Yes.
I just found Muppet Wiki does have a page called Beaker's Glowing Eyes. So we will link to that in the show notes.
Wow, I'm glad you found that.
Yeah.
I scrolled through the Muppet Labs page on the wiki, and I didn't see any Muppet Labs sketches from the Muppet Show where his eyes lit up.
Which is interesting, because you would think that would happen at least once in a while.
Right, so I guess it only happened backstage.
It feels like a core Beaker thing. Yeah.
It does now, yeah. But I should have known that there was an entire page dedicated to Beaker's glowing eyes.
What a great website. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Muppet Wiki editors.
Yes. Yeah, forget Tough Pigs, everyone. Just check out Muppet Wiki on the internet, Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere else. And please do drop by our Facebook or Twitter to tell us what you thought of this episode or any episodes or the movie. Or you can also come to the Tough Pigs forum, which is linked on the front page of toughpigs.com. You can find me on Twitter at @MeRyanRowe. Anthony is on Twitter at ZeppoMarxist. And Christy, where can people find you on the internet?
I am on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know why you'd follow my Instagram, but it's the same username, at Admiral Christie. And if you want to read my writing, really the easiest way to do that is look at my Muck Rack page, which I didn't curate, but whoever did a really good job with.
Okay. So be sure to check that out. And if you don't mind, please give us a positive review on Apple Podcasts or wherever. And please tell all your friends about the show. And join us again next week for another episode of Movin' Right Along. Goodbye.
Woof, 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 woof.